Hey, scholars and families, just want to let you know that this week we're going to have a test on Friday for our pods A, C, and D students. So making sure that students are all caught up on their work and on top of their math this week is really important so they're ready for that test. So I'm going to go right into our modules to get started. So I'm going to start with Monday, November 9th. Here's the daily page that students can watch. This is a day students are in person, but if your student is at home or misses school for whatever reason, everything is right here. So we're going to be working in our class notebook on page 14, and then we're going to be completing 2 standard quizzes. These NS1s are all about adding and subtracting. These NS2s are all about multiplying and dividing, and NS3 is using all 4 operations with real-world problems. Just as a heads up on those standard quizzes. So clicking next takes us to the direction page for our order of operations introductory lesson. Here is a video that your student can watch to help them with the lesson if they are at home or if they did it in class and they just wanted to rewatch it and just kind of figure that out. So if your student's in person, they'll get this paper copy or they can do it online if they bring in their device. I'm just going to show you where they can access that online in class notebook. It's right here on the side. I'm going to click it to open it in a new tab. I've already clicked the purple sign in button, so now I just hit the blue open in OneNote online button. And your student will be able to click their name and get to their folder. I'm just going to go right into the content library, Unit 2, page 14. And actually in the content library is where your student can find my copy of the notes. So I'll be putting in a copy that's already completed if they need to reference it at any point. But the video goes through the entire lesson. When they're done, they can click mark as done at the top of the page, get that green check mark so they know they did it. And then it says to go back to modules and select a standard quiz to work on. So all those standard quizzes are at the bottom of the module, and they should pick at least 2 to work on. So your student can look at the data wall and see which standards they haven't done yet or ones they want to retest because they didn't do so well on it and now they think they could do better at it. When they click into one, it does tell them exactly what it will be testing them on, but students are starting to get familiar with the different standards. So I'm going to go in and show you what we're doing for Tuesday. So we're doing more work with order of operations. So if you ever see those Facebook posts where it's like, is it 16, is it 1? That's what we're talking about, is learning specifically what operations are you going to do first when you're solving a problem. So again, it's going to be in class notebook, and then this time instead of a standard lesson, it wants students to work on Imagine Math. So here's our directions page. There's a video for the lesson. So if your student misses school, because again, this is an in-person lesson, they can watch this video. This is going to be Unit 2, page 15, and it looks like this. So we're working on PEMDAS, order of operations. The video goes through the whole lesson. When they're done, they can click mark as done at the top of the page, get that green check mark, and then they can go into Clever and Imagine Math, and that's going to help us fill in any gaps from last spring. So it's really important. We are getting on Imagine Math every week. I'm going to go back to modules, and you can see we've actually been getting those green checks as I mark things done. So there's no school Wednesday. Thursday, we're going to work specifically with word problems. So here's the daily overview page. There's always a video giving directions on what to do because this is a virtual day for Pod A. They'll be working at home. There isn't a Teams meeting today. So here's the directions. It says go to class notebook. Here is a video that they can watch of the lesson. So it's going to be Unit 2, page 16. Looks like this. So this is the already completed copy. And here is the blank copy. So this is what your student is going to be working on today at home, solving some word problems. And again, there is a video right here that goes through the whole lesson to help them. When they are done, they're going to click mark as done. And if they click next, it will take them to the Unit 2 review. So this is just a practice. It has a bunch of questions that are very similar to the ones they're going to do on their test tomorrow. Make sure we're using the calculator correctly. If we have any questions on how to type something into the calculator, you send your math teacher a message as soon as possible. They'll click take the quiz and it will begin. How they do on this one will be a big indicator on how they will do on the test tomorrow for Friday. So let's go back to modules and look at the test. So if we go to Friday, Here's the directions for the test. Normally, we don't have Teams meeting for math on virtual days for Pod A, but this time we actually are going to have a virtual meeting. So that's so that students can get directions for the test. If they have questions while they're taking the test, there will be a meeting open for them with a teacher on it. So here's just the overview video for the day. So all they're going to do is log onto Teams for their class time and then take the test. So the only expectation today is they're taking the test. If they try to access this page before November 13th, it's going to tell them that it's not open until November 13th. Right now I have it open so I can show you what the directions look like. So it's just listing all of the different standards we've been working on. So students can look at that and just know this is exactly what we're being tested on. I'm kind of open and upfront about it. Students can use a calculator. I always have one on screen for them to use. When they're ready, they can take the quiz. There's no time limit, and if something goes wrong, they can take this a second time. You can see allowed attempts at the top too. So if they say something went wrong or I saw my score and it wasn't great, they can take it again. So this is the test. When they're done with this test, they're done with this week and they're done with Unit 2. And next week on Monday, we're going to start with Unit 3, which is ratios and proportions. And it's actually one of my very favorite units. I'm so excited for it. And I hope you guys have a great week.